Okay, so Charlie Kirk has been shot and killed. I found out about it like 20 minutes ago. And I don't know. I think it's just because I consume a lot of left wing media, but like the way it's being perceived, especially in the UK, is just like crazy. Like, I don't know. Like, it's just people are making so many jokes about it, and I get it because I don't agree with all his views either, but I feel like encouraging political violence like this is fucked up no matter what side of the political spectrum they lie on. And if you're going, oh, well, he was a terrible person, I disagree with his views, he deserves to be shot, what's to stop someone from the right going, oh, well, they're on the left wing, I disagree with their views, and I'll just shoot that. Like, I don't know. I just feel like the political environment's getting so extreme now, and it's so fucking terrifying.
Oh no, someone who wants me dead died. Anyway, I'm having a salad from Sweet Green. It's the Autumn Harvest Bowl. I get so annoyed at Democrats for being like, this is the time for God. Shut the fuck up! They celebrate when we die. I don't care to have moral superiority over these people. Piece of shit. You got what you deserve. I'm sorry. You're a bad person. Bad things happen to bad people. Celebrate it. It should happen more often. Not death necessarily, but like karma. Big fan of it in this regard. I don't know. I'm honestly convinced that this is why Democrats lost in 2024. Because I'm like, some of y'all are weak. You should be able to say, thank God that motherfucker's dead. Thank God that piece of shit is no longer able to cause harm. It's a miracle. Hallelujah. Ding dong, the witch is dead. No one mourns the wicked. Hello? We all saw that movie, right? We all saw Ariana Grande do her damn thing. It's about that. Like, and goodness knows. Shut the fuck up.
Charlie Kirk got shot and killed. How do you feel?
Happy. Goodbye.
Wow. Did you see that Charlie Kirk just got shot and killed?
That's good.
Wow.
Guys, if this doesn't make you angry, then you're probably one on the left. These people are literally fucking celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, guys. Like, what the absolute fuck? This is coming from the left wing that claim to love everybody. Absolute freaking fanatics. Check it out.
It's a close-up video of Charlie Kirk getting pewed in the neck. No fucking way he survives. So you know what time it is. Absolutely
How can people celebrate
tragic news on the Charlie Kirk
the death of anyone, man?
Apparently he was doing one of his talks when a shot rang out through the crowd, and apparently he got hit in the neck. How devastating. Now, of course, after hearing news like this some form of memoriam is expected.
It's coming from the tolerant left who love
in
everybody,
honor of his
apparently.
noble sacrifice, I am going to be getting absolutely blitzed tonight. Who's with me?
You see somebody with a MAGA hat?
This is the mentality of
That's what we
the
do.
people, guys.
That's the way.
He had a wife and 2 daughters who saw it fucking happen. How would you feel in their shoes? How would you react? Because reacting like that is fucking disgusting. I will be doing another video, guys, with a few more clips, so don't forget to like, follow, and share for more. It's Behind the Headlines.
A curse on the hate monger. Your mouth is a cannon of venom and lies. Each rant that you bellow corrodes as it flies. The bile that you spew in your furious breath returns to consume you in silence and death. The stage that you strut with your smirk and your sneer collapses beneath you, your end drawing near. Your voice once so loud, now a whisper of shame. Forgotten, forsaken, erased is your name. Your tongue, once a weapon, now heavy with rot, chokes on the poison your rhetoric wrought. The hatred you hurled at the world with such glee now binds you in chains you can never break free. I curse you with ruin, with downfall and blight. Your platform extinguished, your star without light. May every vile sermon you cast to the land turn back upon you by your own cursed hand.
Nah, don't forget now. Charlie went and told y'all. This is an unfortunate sacrifice. Charlie Kirk went and told you that it was an unfortunate sacrifice that would need to be made to protect the Second Amendment. Things like this would have to happen. A citizen getting popped in broad daylight would have to happen. As unfortunate as it is, it was an unfortunate sacrifice that must be made to uphold the Second Amendment. Charlie Kirk fought for that. He worked hard for this. He worked real hard. He advocated for a fascistic regime, preached nonsensical race junk science that has been debunked for over 100 years. He hated the LGBTQIA community. An active TERF who didn't want women to have body autonomy and reproductive rights. He was a known Islamophobe, a white Christian nationalist, a man who he himself went on record on his little TV show and said he hated empathy. He thought it caused a lot of problems. Mr. Kirk worked real hard for this, and he knocked on hate's door all of his professional life. And the funny thing is, if you knock on hate's door long enough, hate will finally answer. And it answered him.
Something is really off with the Charlie Kirk shooting. Now, hear me out. I don't want to sound like a crazy MAGA conspiracy theorist, but just hear me out. So, the shot itself, it seemed like a pretty professional shot. It was a direct hit, one shot to the carotid artery, and it looked like he was pretty much done. So there's that. Next thing, the fact that they haven't gotten the shooter, the fact that they probably will never get the shooter or they will get the shooter, but he's going to end up being dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Next thing, the fact that Donald Trump is the one that officially announced the death of Charlie Kirk. Now, he is the fucking president of the United States. Why would he be announcing the official death of Charlie Kirk? The next thing, I was thinking about this, but a couple months ago when Trump first started denying the Epstein files and claiming that there were none, Charlie Kirk was pretty vocal about the fact that he was disappointed in Trump and that regardless of who Trump is, he needs to release the Epstein files. Then a few days after vocalizing his thoughts on that, he went radio silent and kind of explained that he wasn't talking about it anymore. Word on the street was that Trump called him, asked him to quit talking about it, to which he complied. Well, it could be very possible that Trump, he is now in hot water again with the whole Epstein files. He is guilty. He knows he's guilty. He knows he's in the files. And between Ro Khanna and Thomas Massey's Epstein Transparency Act that is waiting to get just a few more signatures before it is going to hopefully be revealed to us, Trump knows he has to create another distraction. And quite possibly he used Charlie Kirk as the pawn, which he is now having our flags flown at half-mast for this podcast host. And he is having a official word out from the White House for Charlie Kirk. Things that he hasn't done for other real true dignitaries in the past. And now it is sounding like Charlie Kirk is going to be made a martyr by the Republicans. He was murdered for speaking his mind, even though we have no idea who killed him, apparently. Food for thought.
So President Trump released this 4-minute video tonight about Charlie Kirk. And predictably, he blamed the left for the assassination. First and foremost, I want to be very clear that we do not know who the shooter was or their motivations or what happened. But in the video, Trump specifically calls out the violence against Congressman Steve Scalise, of course, the assassination of Kirk, the Luigi Mangione killing of the healthcare CEO. But Trump, of course, left out all of the folks on the left who have been impacted by this gun violence. Bakari Sellers put a list here of what Trump did not mention that happened just in the last couple of years. The kidnapping plot against Whitmer, January 6th, the attack on Nancy Pelosi and Paul Pelosi, and then, of course, most recently, the assassination of Minnesota House Speaker Melissa Hortman and her husband, and the shooting of State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. If Trump wanted to unite us and bring people together, he would have used this as an opportunity to do so. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Political violence ought to be condemned no matter who the target is. It only begets more violence. And Trump explicitly blaming the left for this is only going to cause more violence and more pain. Obviously, I didn't expect anything less, but it's still really unfortunate. I think in a moment where we can rise above, where every single Democratic politician has condemned this, political violence is bad no matter who it is perpetrated against. And the fact that Trump didn't mention Melissa Hortman, it's pretty disturbing. I'm not going to lie.
What's your thoughts on the Charlie Kirk situation?
Bro had it coming. I cannot lie to you. He kind of called that like a while in advance. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I saw the video. It's pretty crazy. I got a friend named Charlie, so bad day for him. But also bad day for actual Charlie, yeah.
What's your thoughts on the Charlie Kirk situation?
I think it's up, and I don't know. I think he's a human too, and I think it's that, like, no matter if you agree with his views or not, that, like, a human shouldn't be killed.
Your thoughts on the Charlie Kirk situation?
I hope that his family grieves peacefully, and I don't really know about him. I don't know, but that's sad. Sad when people die. Also sad when there are shootings at schools.
Hey y'all, so they killed Charlie Kirk. Okay? So you know I usually talk about things from a spiritual point of view. And so there's two types of exposure. There's the true exposure coming from the spirit, and then there's fake exposure. Now the true exposure is all these things that are going to be coming out over time and being released, and people finding out the truth, who really did what, and all the little, people are going to all fall in place of what's happening. That's happening little by little with spirit. Fake exposure is what these people have been doing and deceiving their people. Now, let's talk about who had motive to do this to him. Okay? For one thing, Charlie Kirk was at least 6-7 years promising, along with a lot of other people, that they wanted to expose those people that were on that Epstein file. And then all of a sudden, he turned cold on them. And he decided that he don't want to talk about it anymore. I'm not going to talk about it. This is the last day. After just saying, I want to see the files. Well, it doesn't work like that when you've been one of the big mouths in a gang. Because that's what you're heading. You're one of the leaders of a gang. Okay? And you cannot, ask any gang leader, you cannot be in the gang and then just decide, oh, I don't want to have anything to do with it anymore. Well, I'm not going to talk about it. It don't fucking go like that, baby. It don't go like that. That's not working. And as you can see, it hasn't worked. But he's not going to be the last one. I told you last week, they are going to off each other. They are going to off each other. They only like Donald Trump. Okay? They only like him. And it's going to get worse. They only like Donald Trump. Everybody else that has turned coat is going to see their day when it comes to those people that they've been dealing with. Because they don't know who they've been dealing with. They have released the Krakens. Okay? So now you deal with the people that you've hyped up all these years. You deal with them because they're out there. I'm telling my people, stay in the house, stay safe, and stay out of this mess that they have going on. It doesn't have anything to do with us. Eat your popcorn, drink your water, and watch this shit show, honey, because it's going down. And I'm reminding you that Spirit told me at the beginning of the month that he don't need no bombs to end this shit show. Okay? One by one, they're going down. Stay in the house.
Charlie Kirk. I mean, what are you going to say about the situation, really? I mean, the guy was anti-trans, anti-abortion, anti-gun control, and preached that empathy didn't matter. And finally, in the end, he got taken out by someone who was right out of empathy and just shot him. So what can I say about that? Live by the gun, die by the gun, really. Now, I'm not saying anybody deserves to die for their belief system, but like I do think that Charlie Kirk sort of typified and illustrated a type of sentiment that does a lot of harm. And to be frank, coming from a country that has tight gun control with no school shootings, no children dying in schools, I find it hard to find empathy for someone that had such discriminatory views. But in the end, he faced the ultimate discrimination, didn't he? Now, what I find really funny, and I know that there is a governmental aspect to this. This is something that's meant to set fire to the Christian nationals and MAGAs of the US, because they're all up there claiming, oh, I was a liberal, blah blah, or a lefty, all these crazy trans people, or what. But there's no one in custody yet. So how come all of these people are coming up with something that they don't know and don't have any facts on? To be quite frank, I think Charlie Kirk was sacrificed for the right-wing cause. For the Trumpists and the MAGAs, etc., that they can now blame the lefties or whatever it is that they're, harping on about. We don't know the story of the guy, but one thing for sure is that Christian nationals and MAGAs and stuff like that will be in uproar at this given point, And what will this cause? To be frank, more discrimination, more death, more fights, and more gun violence. I mean, how, have we not learned the lesson yet? The shooter himself could be anybody. That's what strikes my mind, is that, it's someone that Charlie Kirk has, severely offended, or he's a government plant. It's a false flag. Government plant theory? I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, whatever was done, he was shot long range from the campus, which effectively can't be done without a sniper rifle. So, I don't know. It seems quite organised to get in there, shoot him, and get out and not be seen. Anyway, sincerely, all these people harping on about liberals and lefties and Democrats and all that stuff like that, well, it's just as likely it's one of your own. And you, while you're going on about that, going on about your fellow humans who have different views from you, are now going to go off and get angry and play into the puppeteer's hands. All I can say is thank fuck I don't live in America.
So Charlie Kirk has died at the age of 31 from gunshot wounds in Utah. Now, before those of you on the left start celebrating, there is a little bit of damage control to be had. So this man was an abhorrent face of right-leaning politics, a Christian nationalist, and stood for pretty much the lack and loss of empathy in America that we on the left stand to hate. I don't think it's lost on anyone on the left that Charlie Kirk recently talked about gun violence being a necessity on the way to withholding Second Amendment rights, which is absolutely fucking terrible. So here's the underlying problem. On the left, we have a tendency to be introspective whenever tragedy hits, especially when it comes to things that we are passionate about. Getting introspective about loss or things that cause loss is something that we're very keen on, at least generalizing. If you think that after the passing of Charlie Kirk, the right is going to become introspective and talk about gun control and violence, you're fucking stupid. Rather, what they're going to do is they're going to double down. They're going to arm themselves to the teeth even more. And what's more than that is they're going to say that now more than ever, gun violence is a cause of the crazy lunatic left. I think the backlash to this comes rather swiftly. I don't know what the time frame looks like, but I think it's fairly quick that you will see the backlash come to the surface in both media and in politics.
My heart hurts so bad today. I watched a video of Charlie Kirk get shot and killed today while I was at work. This man traveled across the country, held debates at university campuses. He was just at Oxford University in England not that long ago doing a debate there. And he presented everybody with facts. And these people, especially here in the US, these people would get up to this microphone and they would call him names. They would scream at him. They would curse him out. And no matter what they said to him, he kept his composure and presented them with facts and held a healthy debate. And then thanked everybody for coming. And it blows me away. This man was politically assassinated today. And these people are supposed to be the party of tolerance and love, right? But where's the tolerance and the love for those of us that simply don't believe the same as you? Why does it have to be your way or no way at all? Why does it have to be your way or death to everybody else? Why does it have to be that way? Nobody should ever be assassinated because of their religious or political beliefs. We're all human beings. And I have been scrolling through some of these videos, and some of these videos of these people getting on here and clapping and cheering and dancing and smiling and saying rest in hell and all of these things. I have news for you. Charlie was a firm believer in Jesus, and that man is at home with Jesus right now. And Jesus looked right at him, dead in his eyes, and said, "Welcome home, good and faithful servant." So this rot in hell business is just fucking stupid. I don't care what you believe. I don't care what side of the political aisle you are on. If you are celebrating the assassination of somebody, a father and a husband, a son, like this is somebody's family. And rumor has it, I haven't confirmed this yet, so don't quote me on it, but I was told that he had taken his daughter with him to this event today, and I hope that's not true, because it would break my heart even more to know that this little girl watched her daddy die. If you're celebrating this, there's something seriously wrong with you. If you are celebrating this, there's something seriously wrong in here. And you need mental and emotional fucking help. I'm disgusted. And I'm tired. It hurts my fucking soul. All of the hate and the division and the racism hurts my fucking heart and hurts my soul. Who gives a shit that somebody thinks a little differently than you, or they believe differently than you, or they worship differently than you, or they support a political party that is different than yours? Who gives a fuck? We are human beings. And we're all on this floating rock in the fucking abyss together. It needs to stop. I'm just so tired. I'm tired of it all. Jesus, please come back now. I'm calling on Jesus to come back. I'm asking him. I pray every day, multiple times a day. And I tell him all the time, Jesus, please. Like, we need you. We need you now. This is not good. I have a feeling we are living in the last chapters of the book of Revelation at this point. This is just... I'm just devastated. This is not the world that I remember. This is not... When did we get here? As a society, how did we fucking end up here? Please pray for Charlie's family, for his wife and his babies. And God bless y'all. I'll be praying for all of us.
Donald Trump put out a disgusting message about the death of Charlie Kirk. You know, I was worried when this happened. We are now going to see these MAGA types declare open season on the left. Even at this point, we don't even know anything about the shooter or the motivations of the shooter. Doesn't matter. If the motivations were left-wing or right-wing, I will condemn it exactly the same way no matter what. But there was a fear I had that, this is now going to become a tit for tat. And unfortunately, Donald Trump went on TV and, absent any information at all about the situation, rather than dampening down the rhetoric and saying this is a time for us to come together, Trump says the radical left are the cause of this and we are going to go after them. It comes from the top, and this is going in a very dangerous direction.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity.
Now, what does that even mean? What is Trump alluding to? People who contributed to it? What?
And to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died.
Well, you know, a lot of people don't agree with those values, right? A lot of people find his values disgusting. What we need to rally around is that people shouldn't be killed for their political opinions, that no developed Western country can point and say things are going fine, but by the way, this is a feature of our society. And this statement from Trump is not going to reduce the temperature. You know, there is a moment that we're talking about this week that I believe is Trump's most presidential moment that he's ever had. This is one of his least presidential moments. And case in point, we are now seeing MAGA people announce, we're coming for the liberals. We are coming for anyone we think is a part of this. And the reality is that Trump himself and Charlie Kirk contributed to this environment. Trump didn't deserve to be shot. Charlie Kirk didn't deserve to be killed. I deplore any of that violence. But when you look and see that Donald Trump is starting to repeat the exact same sorts of incitements and agitations that led to the January 6th, 2021 riot and insurrection, and you see that this is the rhetoric that caused the problem in the first place, you know that this is not going in a good direction. Now, I do want to mention, some of you wrote to me and said, David, this Trump video seems to be AI. There's a weird moment where something really strange happens with Trump's hand and shirt. There is so much to talk about that I'm not going to devote an entire segment to that. What I've been told is that it's a morph cut is what was done. It's not that the entire video is AI. This really is Trump, but there was something done called a morph cut. Anyway, it really is beyond the scope of what's important here to discuss, but it's not lost on me that that is a topic of discussion with this video. I'm more concerned with the substance of it, and the substance is completely disgusting.